What's up, everybody? It's your girl Tyra, and welcome back to the third episode of Tyra's Tinkers. You guys, today we are going to be tackling this area right here, which I am going to make into a beautiful breakfast nook. So this is the space, with nothing on it. So we are about to make this fab. The first thing I'm doing is taking off this wall cover because I will be applying some wallpaper. So Janae and I are cleaning the walls, and now we are going to apply this beautiful wallpaper that I got from Lynn Arte. It is their tropical jungle wallpaper, and you guys, this stuff is so good. It's very easy to put on, but it's also easy to remove. So it is a very high quality wallpaper. It really felt like vinyl, and it really felt soft to the touch. It didn't feel cheap at all. I was sent this product for free. I only had to pay shipping, which was $45, but I got a custom sized wallpaper. The great thing about Lynn Arte was that they were able to make it custom to fit this exact space. So I sent them the dimensions and they just sent me the custom sized wallpaper. I will say that this is very heavy duty. Like, it felt like it had little strands inside of it. It's a very heavy duty wallpaper, and it was very easy to apply. The only note that I would have is to make sure that you are applying this stuff very evenly, because as you can see, I do have these little white spaces down there, but they will be covered, so it's not a big deal for me. But if you're putting the wallpaper in a space that will not be covered, make sure you take that into account. Now let's make some DIY benches. You could buy benches, but why not make them yourself? So I went to Home Depot and I picked up some hinges and also a piece of plywood, and I got the plywood cut in store, you guys. I only needed one piece of plywood for my entire project. You will also need a few more supplies. Now, the first thing I did was sand all of my pieces of wood because I didn't know exactly how I wanted them to look, and I did not want to risk getting any splinters. That's like one of my biggest fears. So I do have a orbital sander, which is bomb, and after I sand it, I just used some glossy clear paint to cover the plywood to see if it worked, but the plywood ended up just soaking it up, and it didn't really look too good. It looks good on camera, but in person it didn't look that good. So then I tried a stain. So I picked up a few different stains from Home Depot just to see what I liked, just in case I wanted to keep the benches bare. But I did end up keeping the benches bare, so you can definitely skip this step. Now, with the foam and the fabric, I cut the fabric to size for each of the benches, and then I laid the actual piece of plywood that was cut at Home Depot onto the foam. From there, I just sprayed the plywood and I applied the foam just like this. Now, my foam is only 1 inch thick, but if you would like a more comfortable bench, then you want to go with like 2 inches or more. I will say that my benches aren't comfortable to sit on for like an extended period of time, but if I'm just eating a meal, they're totally fine. So keep that in mind as well. And I'm just using a regular bread knife, a serrated knife, to cut the foam. It was super easy to do this way. Now I'm going to cut my fabric. I just chose a basic brown color because I wanted this space to really be light and airy, and I also wanted my benches to go with the tropical feel. So I just think this light brown worked very well. So I used a staple gun, and I also made sure that I ironed my fabric so I didn't have all of those wrinkles and all of those crazy creases. Now we're going to assemble these bad boys. So all I did to assemble these was take the top that we created and put them on top of a bookshelf that I bought from Target, and I also picked one up on Facebook Market. But these are the Target Cube bookshelves, which is a super good hack, you guys. So I also have storage over here in my breakfast nook, but there are also some dope benches. So we're going to assemble them. First, I'm putting the plywood bottom. Make sure that you get a bottom so you can use it for storage. And I am assembling the hinges as well. I used 3 hinges on the longer bench and I used 2 hinges on the shorter bench. I also applied a fabric stopper so I can close my benches softly and I could have a finger grip when I wanted to open them. So this is how the space looks after making the benches. You guys, I am already in love with it and we are not even done. So now it is time to hang our shelf, and this is the equipment you need. Fun fact, I have never hung a shelf before. This is my very first time. So you guys, I measured 700 times before I actually drilled a hole, which I completely recommend. I also wanted to make sure that this shelf could hold weight, so I made sure to get some heavy duty wall anchors just to make sure that in case we had an earthquake, the shelf did not fall on my head if I was sitting over there. Oh, and the painter's tape is a hack. I use the painter's tape as a guide. I can write on it and I can see exactly how the shelf is going to look in this space. But y'all, hanging this thing was hard, okay? Ow! I've never put up a shelf before. This is my first attempt. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me call my daddy.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Ugh! Ouch! Woo! It's going. That should be good, right? It's not moving that much. I would say it took me about a good 2 hours to put this shelf up, but I learned a lot in the process, you guys. And now I'm the shelf hanging champion, okay? Well, maybe that's a little much, but I know how to hang a shelf now. It's up there! Now, instead of screwing the shelf in, I'm using command strips to hold it in place. Now on to my favorite part. I updated my ceiling fan. This ceiling fan was ugly, y'all. There's no other way I can say it. And also I did style the shelf and I also hung up another shelf for libation purposes. But anyways, the first thing I did was clean off all of the blades and I removed all of the hardware. Make sure you only remove the blades one by one so you don't have a hard time putting them back on because it was kind of difficult. Now, the first step is to remove the blade from the blade attachment and attach your new blade. I used the old blade as a guide and I also used some random cardboard as a template and also some reinforcement when I'm attaching my blade. I got these really flimsy blades, but they're super cute. They're from Amazon. They're linked down below. And I used the piece of cardboard as reinforcement so I didn't puncture the blade. And one by one, I reattached it to the ceiling fan to make sure that I didn't have a hard time putting them back on. That was a tip from my daddy, and I'm glad that I listened because when you remove one blade, the ceiling fan becomes unbalanced. Now that the blades are looking good, it's time to attach some new bulb cover. So I got these clear covers and these dope light bulbs all from Walmart. Everything is linked down below and it just made this space super vibey. Like, I'm loving how this is coming out. And the last thing I did on the ceiling fan was update the pools. All I did was apply some fresh paint. I got this paint as a sample color from Sherwin-Williams. It was white, so I just painted on white. You guys, this little dingy rug is not even a rug. It is a piece of carpet that came when I moved in and I was using it as a rug, but it's time to upgrade. So first I'm cleaning the space. I'm using my new vacuum cleaner. This is my new big girl toy, linked down below. And I bought this beautiful navy blue rug that goes perfectly with the navy blue that is in the Tropical Jungle wallpaper from Lynn Arte. And now I'm just putting everything back. So this is an Ikea table and I got it off Facebook Market for like $100. I don't really know how much it originally cost, but it's super cute. And I just added my little pillows, a plant, and a few other decorations. And this is the final space, y'all. Like, I love how this came out. It has a lot of storage because you guys know I live in a small space, but it's super cute, super vibey, and it's also Instagrammable. That was my biggest goal. I wanted to have a very Instagrammable studio, and I think I kind of nailed it. And I did this all for about $200, you guys. Like, this space looks good. This is my favorite makeover in Tyra's Tinker so far. If you guys like this series, please make sure you give this video a like. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button down below. And thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you in the next Tyra's Tinkers.